A soft wind drifts over Heartland Ranch, brushing gently through the tall grass as the evening sun dips behind the rolling hills. The sky glows in layers of amber, orange, and soft gold, a quiet farewell to another day. A child's voice echoes faintly through the air, small, innocent, yet heavy with truth. Sometimes the people we love the most leave us before we're ready to say goodbye. And when they do, the world doesn't stop. It just gets quieter, colder, emptier. A lonely swing creaks softly in the yard. A tiny pair of boots stand still in the dirt, empty, waiting. The camera rises slowly, capturing the stillness of loss. Lyndy stands there, unmoving, her eyes glistening as she stares at the fading horizon. She used to laugh with him every morning. Now she only talks to his memory. Soft, melancholic music begins to swell as the title fades in, Heartland Today. The sound of galloping hooves gently fills the silence, pulling us into the next morning. Morning. Fog lingers low over the ranch, a silver mist hugging the earth. The world feels calm but heavy, the kind of stillness that holds unspoken pain. The camera glides slowly over the barn, its wooden beams painted with memories that refuse to fade. The faint strum of a gentle guitar plays in the background, a melody that feels like both hope and sorrow at once. Amy stands near the fence, hands resting against the worn wooden rail. Her gaze follows the horses moving through the fog, but her mind is somewhere far away, in another time, another life, beside another heartbeat. Heartland once overflowed with laughter and light. But time, as it often does, changed everything. It's been years since Ty passed, and every sunrise now carries a quiet ache, a reminder that silence can be the heaviest sound in a house once full of life. Inside, the ticking clock breaks the stillness. Lyndy sits at the kitchen table, a photograph clutched tightly in her small hands, her father's smile frozen forever in time. Amy walks in softly, careful not to disturb the fragile peace. "Breakfast's getting cold, sweetheart," she whispers. Lyndy doesn't answer. Her little fingers trace the edges of the picture again and again, as if she's afraid the image might fade if she stops. Amy places a glass of milk beside her. She studies her daughter's eyes, those same bright eyes that once lit up whenever Ty walked into the room. Amy breathes deeply. She misses him too, every single day. But Lyndy's grief is different. Children don't mourn quietly like adults do. They ache loudly inside, their hearts confused and wide open, still hoping that maybe, somehow, the person they love will come back. Outside, the sound of a truck engine hums up the dirt road. A door closes. Nathan steps out, calm, kind, carrying the warmth of someone who means well. He waves at Amy through the window, unaware of the silence he's stepping into. And so begins a new chapter. Nathan, a man who only wants to help rebuild what's been broken, not realizing that some pieces are too sacred to ever replace. Amy walks out to greet him. Their conversation drifts like polite small talk, safe, surface level, necessary. They discuss the horses, the fences that need mending, the start of a new season. But through the kitchen window, Lyndy watches. Her expression is blank, but her heart is not. She doesn't like him. Not because Nathan is unkind, but because he isn't Ty. To Lyndy, Nathan's presence feels like an eraser, like he's slowly wiping away the little fragments of her father she's been clinging to. Her eyes harden. A quiet storm brews behind them. In her heart, she believes that if Nathan stays, Ty's memory might fade, and that's something she cannot let happen. The camera returns to the horizon, sunlight slowly strengthening, the ranch glowing brighter. But brightness can be fragile. Light can crack. From outside, Amy calls gently, "Come on, honey. Let's show Nathan around the ranch." Lyndy turns from the window, clutching the photo of her dad to her chest. Her voice trembles but doesn't waver. "I don't want to." The music fades to near silence, leaving only the whisper of wind through the trees. And then the narrator's voice returns. Quiet, steady, full of warmth. Sometimes love doesn't die. It just hides, waiting for someone brave enough to remember it. The screen slowly fades to black. White text appears. Healing takes time. Soft piano begins to play as the wind dances gently across the golden fields. The morning sun stretches over Heartland Ranch, painting everything in soft light. Horses run freely, their hooves thundering like the rhythm of old memories. From the outside, the ranch looks peaceful. But inside that peace, hearts are still learning how to breathe again. Amy walks through the barn, fingertips gliding across the old wooden walls. Every mark, every creak, every lingering scent of hay whispers his name. She stops beside Ty's old saddle, her hand trembling as she touches it. Sometimes she pretends he's still here, brushing the horses, laughing with Jack. But the silence always comes back, sharp and real, cutting deeper than any blade. She closes her eyes, takes a breath and wipes away a tear before it can fall. Outside, Nathan works with Jack fixing a broken fence. His sleeves are rolled up, his hands steady, his smile soft. He talks about ways to strengthen the stables before winter, how to care for the horses through the season's change. Jack listens, half present, half lost in old memories. He appreciates Nathan's effort, but the ranch carries its ghosts, not the haunting kind, but the kind that linger in laughter and photographs, the kind that live in every empty chair at the dinner table. Nathan feels it too, the weight of a story he wasn't a part of. From the porch, Lyndy watches them. Her small fingers clutch the photo of her dad again, but when she sees Nathan look her way, she hides it behind her back. Her expression is tight, conflicted, a storm she doesn't yet understand, jealousy, confusion, fear. She turns and runs inside, her small boots tapping softly against the wood. Amy looks up as Lyndy rushes past. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" Lyndy shakes her head, whispering, "I don't like him." Amy kneels, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "He's just trying to help," she says softly. Tears fill Lyndy's eyes. "He's not Daddy." Amy freezes, her breath catching in her throat. The air grows heavy, the room smaller. How do you explain loss to a child still waiting for their father to come home? Amy wraps her arms around Lyndy. At first, the little girl stays stiff. Then slowly, she melts into her mother's embrace. Outside, Nathan pauses mid-task. He glances toward the house and sees them, a mother holding her child tight. He looks away quietly, shoulders sinking under the truth he's too kind to speak aloud. He doesn't belong in that moment. The sky begins to shift. Clouds crawl in from the west. The warm morning fades to gray, and the guitar melody from earlier fades into a single haunting piano note. In the distance, the mountains remain calm, stoic, unchanged. Even when hearts break beneath them, Amy steps outside, whispering into the wind. "Ty, if you're watching, tell me how to do this. Tell me how to help her." The breeze rises, brushing her hair gently across her face, and for just a second she smiles, as if she feels something. A presence, a comfort that words can't explain. Inside the house, the air feels heavy again. The ticking clock echoes faintly against the walls as Lyndy sits by the window, watching Nathan lead one of the horses across the field. Her expression is a mix of curiosity and pain, her little hand still holding her father's photograph. The wind outside catches the curtains, and sunlight flickers across her face. She frowns but doesn't look away. Maybe she's trying to understand who this man is, this quiet stranger helping around her home. Maybe she's wondering if she should give him a chance. But before that thought can take shape, her small voice breaks the silence. "I don't want him here." The screen fades to black. A single piano note lingers, soft, sorrowful, as if the world itself sighs. Then a faint whisper cuts through the quiet. A voice so familiar, so tender, it almost feels like a dream. "Be kind, kiddo." Lyndy's eyes open wide. She glances around, her breath catching. For a moment, she's unsure if she really heard it, or just wanted to. The music shifts gently, blending piano and guitar again. The day begins calm, But something in the air has changed. Clouds start to gather across the blue, turning the light colder. Even the horses seem restless. Lyndy stands near the barn, brushing her pony, Harley. Her movements are sharp, hurried, her small body tense. The pony snorts softly, sensing her mood. She brushes harder and harder until the handle slips from her hand and falls to the ground with a dull thud. Nathan steps around the corner, smile easy, voice soft. "Hey, need a hand?" Lyndy bends to pick up the brush without looking at him. "No," Nathan doesn't push. "You're doing great with Harley. You've got a real gift, just like your dad." The air freezes. The word dad slices through the space like lightning. Lyndy stops. Her shoulders tighten. Slowly, she turns to face him, eyes wide and wet. "Don't talk about my dad." Nathan opens his mouth, regret already in his eyes. "I didn't mean, I said don't." Her voice cracks into a shout. The brush flies from her hand and lands at his feet. Harley steps back nervously as Lyndy runs toward the house, tears streaking down her face. Amy rushes outside as soon as she hears her daughter cry. "Lyndy, what happened?" Lyndy pushes past her, voice trembling. "I don't want him here." The door slams. Amy turns toward Nathan, her face pale with worry and guilt. Nathan looks down, rubbing the back of his neck. "I shouldn't have said anything about Ty. I'm sorry." Amy's voice is gentle but tired. She misses him more than I can explain. Every day feels like she's saying goodbye all over again. For a moment, neither of them speaks. The silence between them is deep, raw, honest. The ranch, usually peaceful, alive, now feels like it's holding its breath. Inside, Lyndy sits on her bed, clutching the photo of her father. Her face is red and wet, her breath sharp and uneven. She whispers into the still air. "He doesn't know Daddy. He can't talk about him." The camera lingers on her face, that fragile mix of anger, sadness, and innocence that only children can hold. Grief looks too big on such a small frame. Amy knocks gently and steps in. She sits beside her daughter, not speaking at first, just being there. The silence between them says more than any words could. Finally, Amy whispers, "Sweetheart, Nathan didn't mean to hurt you. He just wanted to make you feel close to your dad again." Lyndy shakes her head, sobbing. "He can't. Nobody can." Amy nods slowly, her own eyes shimmering. "I know. I miss him too." They sit together, two hearts bound by the same wound. Outside, thunder rumbles far away, a soft warning of the storm rolling in. Cut to the barn. Nathan stands alone, his hands resting on the old wooden beams. He looks toward Ty's tools, still hanging neatly in their place, untouched, sacred. He whispers under his breath, voice quiet, sincere. "Ty, I'm not trying to take your place, man. I just want to help them smile again." Lightning flashes. Rain begins to fall, slow, steady, rhythmic against the barn roof. The camera pans across the tools, the saddle, and the old photo on the shelf. Every raindrop feels like a heartbeat, every sound a memory. Inside the house, Amy tucks Lyndy into bed. The child is quieter now, the storm in her eyes beginning to fade. Amy brushes her hair back, kisses her forehead, and whispers, "You'll always have your dad right here," she says, placing a hand over Lyndy's heart. As Amy stands to leave, Lyndy's sleepy voice stops her. "Mommy, do you think Daddy would like Nathan?" Amy freezes. The question hits like a wave. She turns back, eyes soft, voice trembling. "I think your dad would want us to be happy." Lyndy nods, her eyelids heavy. "Okay." The rain grows louder outside, but the room feels safe, wrapped in quiet. Tender calm. The shot lingers on the window. Raindrops slide down the glass, catching flashes of light. For just a moment, Ty's reflection appears in the shimmer. Faint, like a memory whispering across time. Amy walks to the window, looking out into the rain. Her voice is fragile but full of love. "I'm trying, Ty. I'm trying so hard." The camera pulls back, wide and slow, showing the entire Heartland ranch bathed in silver rain. The stables glisten, the fields dark and glimmering under the storm. and the narrator's voice returns, low, steady, tender. Sometimes love doesn't vanish when someone's gone. It just changes shape, turning into the wind, the rain, and the memories that never leave. The piano swells softly, joined by the faint rumble of thunder. The music carries the emotion, pain, remembrance, healing, as the screen fades slowly to black. Text appears across the dark. Every heart holds a storm, but storms bring growth too. The sound of rain continues, gentle now, washing over the world like forgiveness. The screen brightens slowly as night settles over Heartland Ranch, the fields shimmering under moonlight, puddles reflecting silver light. The trees whisper softly in the wind. Inside the house, the world is quiet again. Amy stands by the window, her reflection overlapping with Ty's framed photo on the shelf. Her eyes are tired, but they hold a quiet glow, a mix of strength, sadness, and love. In the next room, Lyndy sleeps restlessly. The photo of her father rests beside her pillow. Thunder rolls softly in the distance, like the sound of a heartbeat. And as she dreams, time bends. The sound of rain fades, replaced by laughter. Warm, deep, familiar. Dream sequence. Golden light. A soft breeze moves through the tall grass. The world feels weightless, suspended between day and night. Lyndy stands in the middle of an open field, barefoot, sunlight spilling across her face. The sky glows with that perfect Heartland gold, the kind that only comes right before sunset. Somewhere in the distance, she hears laughter, warm, familiar, echoing like an old song. "Daddy?" The voice answers, gentle, deep, full of love. "Hey, kiddo," she spins around. There he is, Ty Borden. He's standing by the old fence, wearing the same worn jacket she's seen in pictures. His smile is soft, his eyes filled with the kind of peace that feels almost too real to dream. Lyndy runs to him, arms outstretched. When she reaches him, he kneels, scooping her into his arms with that effortless strength only a father has. "I missed you so much," she whispers into his chest. Ty's voice trembles, but it's full of calm. "I've been right here, sweetheart. Every ride, every time you smiled, every time you were brave, that was me cheering you on." Lyndy leans back, her little brow furrowing. "Mom says you're gone." Ty shakes his head gently, pressing a hand over her heart. People don't always stay in the same place. But love, it doesn't go anywhere. She looks down at his hand over her chest, then back up at him. "Then why does it hurt?" He swallows hard. His eyes glisten with unshed tears. "Because love that deep always leaves a mark. But that mark means you're strong enough to carry it." He smiles, that familiar half grin. "Tell your mom I'm proud of her, okay? Tell her she's doing just fine." Lyndy nods through her tears. "Will I see you again?" Ty looks past her, at the horizon glowing brighter by the second. "You will. But not like this." "I have to go now, kiddo." "No!" she cries, clutching his jacket. "Please don't go again." Ty's arms tighten around her. His voice breaks softly. "One day, when the wind feels warm and the horses run free, you'll feel me there. Always." He presses a kiss to her forehead, and as the light grows too bright to bear, his figure begins to fade, piece by piece, until the field is empty again. Lyndy stands alone, the wind brushing through her hair. The golden light flickers once, then fades into darkness. Cut to morning. Heartland Ranch. Lyndy wakes up gasping, her eyes wet, heart racing. She looks around her room, the soft pink light of dawn spilling through the window. On her nightstand, something glints in the light. A horse charm, old and silver, lying beside her photo of Ty. She picks it up slowly, confused. "Mom?" Amy appears in the doorway, hair messy, wearing her flannel robe. "What is it, sweetheart?" Lyndy holds up the charm. "Where did this come from?" Amy freezes. Her eyes widen slightly, recognition flashing across her face. "That was your dad's," she whispers. "It went missing years ago." They stare at each other. Neither of them moves. The camera pans to the window. the wind stirring the curtains just slightly, carrying a faint echo of a man's laughter. Later that morning, Amy walks to the old oak tree. The ground is damp from last night's rain. She kneels, brushing her fingers across the earth. The same place she and Ty once carved their initials years ago. Her voice is soft, trembling. Ty, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can, thank you. For watching over her. For reminding me that love doesn't end. It just changes. A single leaf falls from the tree, landing on her palm. The moment is quiet, sacred. Behind her, Nathan approaches, careful not to interrupt. You okay? Amy turns, eyes red but calm. For the first time in a long while. Yeah. Nathan kneels beside her, looking out at the horizon. You know, sometimes I think places remember the people who loved them. Maybe that's why this ranch always feels alive. Amy smiles faintly. Maybe that's why he never really left. They share a quiet moment. Two people sitting in the shadow of loss, beginning to find peace. Cut to the barn. Jack Bartlett works silently, mending a fence post. He pauses for a moment, looks up and smiles faintly. You'd be proud of her, son, he murmurs. He picks up a photo from the workbench, Ty and Amy on their wedding day, laughing in the sunlight. His voice cracks a little. You'd be real proud. He sets the photo back down, wiping a tear from his cheek before getting back to work. The camera slowly pans across the barn, Spartan shifting in his stall, the old tools hanging neatly, the dust glimmering in the sunlight. For just a heartbeat, a figure appears in the light, Ty, leaning casually against a beam, watching quietly. He smiles faint, proud, then he fades again, leaving only the warmth behind. Final montage. Home again. A slow, acoustic version of the Heartland theme begins to play. Amy and Lyndy ride across the open fields, Spartan leading the way. Nathan fixes a fence near the ridge, watching them from afar with quiet admiration. Lou stands on the porch with coffee in hand, smiling softly as the morning light spreads. Jack and Tim share a look. One of those wordless exchanges only family understands. As the music swells, the camera pulls back. Wide shot of Heartland Ranch. The sun breaks through the clouds, casting a warm, golden glow across the land. The narrator's voice returns, gentle, steady, filled with hope. Sometimes the people we love don't stay beside us forever. But the love they give, the lessons, the laughter, the courage, those stay rooted deep, like the trees that outlast every storm. Amy and Lyndy ride side by side, the wind lifting their hair, laughter carrying through the air. And just for a second, as the light hits just right, a third rider appears beside them in the reflection of the pond. Ty, smiling, peaceful, free.